Although I'm a coach, I need to emphasize 不是我的问题，是你的问题。And did I help you settle 整个东西？有。
Our first criteria of having the right client is that they must be coachable. And many entrepreneurs make a mistake. They think they are coachable, but they could only be teachable.
During the BSC session, they tend to pinpoint a lot of things. The market is about their people, nothing about themselves. My question is, who are the ones that employ them?
What is the value of a coach if there's an AI, right? Because if coaches is still thinking of if there's an AI, why do you need a coach? They still think that they are the source of the answer. All right, this episode, we want to welcome Nick Gu, our Deputy CEO of 10X Strategy Coach. Of course, he's also one of the top performing coach in 10X Strategy Coach. He's also a group leader in 10X Strategy Coach and CEO of Hippopo Baby Spa, the Malaysia first and largest baby spa and wellness chain in Malaysia. So I want to welcome Nick to share his insight and inspiration with all our audience here today. So Nick, welcome to our IPO-Ready podcast. Well, we'll just jump into the question. Maybe you tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you end up become a 10X coach?
How do I now become a 10X coach? Of course, the first invitation, of course, is from you. I remember that time you invited me and you said, hey, brother, come, join, come and understand about all this about 10X coaching. So to me, that time, I actually know you for many years, but I never know what actually you are into it. Okay, so when you invited me, I will say, hey, okay lah, go lor. Just see what you are doing lor. Then from that moment, that orientation, I think it somehow inspired me. Especially that phrase, I think that statement, if you can change the entrepreneur, you can change the world. Wow, I think, wow, my friend, this Joisha I know for so many years, I didn't know that his dream was so big. You can change the entrepreneur, you can change the world. I think that is how I get into 10X. Okay, when I still remember after the session, you give me a call, you say, hey, how brother, want to join us or not? Then to me, I think that time there was this commitment now, of course. And to me, I think it's not easy to fulfill that law. So I say I'm reluctant to join law. But I think the one that hit me is that you told me one thing. You say, hey brother, come lah. Don't think of becoming a coach lah. You just join and whatever you learn and see how you can implement this into your own business. I think that really hits me lah. I think, wow, how on earth am I going to reject that offer? So that is how I joined 10X.
Of course, that one is long ago story. Now I ask people to join to become a coach. Now, last time you say, okay, you apply for a business, you can don't be a coach. But now same, I think our narrative is still the same. I think if you doesn't apply for yourself, I mean, how can you apply for others, right? So we still ask people to join to apply for their own business because all of them are entrepreneurs, and you also apply for others. In fact, one day we don't know when the one day, but of course, when I say I don't know when, means that you need to reach a certain economy of scale. Then, of course, we have criteria to be a coach, right? I think in future we wanted to set only client can be a coach. So means that they must be at least after 1 year of coaching, then only they are eligible to apply to be a coach, so that they already learn and they already train. So that is the one day But of course, we must have enough because now it's hard enough for us to attract coach because our criteria is so strict, right? From 3 years entrepreneurship, good character, now some more ideal BMI. So it's getting harder and harder. A non-smoker. So, but of course, eventually our goal is that. But let's just even like last time we want to set the ideal BMI, we say don't know when when first one day we will set then eventually we set already So same I say one day we will be only coach can eligible to be a. Only client can apply to be a coach. So one day right? Let's see when will happen. But great. Next, looking back, of course, when was the turning point that made coaching become serious for you, right? So of course, I say, at first I just thought, okay join all brother here, or just come and learn. But when was the turning point that this is maybe can be a serious for you, right? Yeah.
Okay, I think the turning point was actually during the pandemic. I think there's a very successful entrepreneur that came to me, and during a conversation with him, I tend to find out that actually my knowledge and my experience throughout all this year actually can be of help to people, to the entrepreneur during the pandemic time. Because that time, a lot of the entrepreneurs, they are lack of direction, they don't know what to do, there's a lot of restriction. And then from there, he actually ignites me and said that, hey, hello, with your experience, with your knowledge, I think you can help a lot of entrepreneur. And then I think, 有好似係哦, I think then that's where I think coaching becomes serious for me. And I remember one time that then he asked me, he said, okay, so Nick, what are you going to do next? I said, okay, I'm going to do BHC. As you know, that 10X, our tools is through BHC. So I did a BHC with one client, one prospect. So during the BHC, I think after that, I actually I pray, I'm a Christian, I pray, I say, hey, if God, this is really what you want me to do, to be a coach, after the BHC, he told me that he want coaching. So I did the BHC with this guy from Moa. I still remember he's from Moa. So after the BHC, and he said, hey Nick, 觉得你可以帮我. Then I said, wow, actually I'm reluctant to take that client. Then I said, okay, it's okay. I say, it's okay. Maybe I'm not the one that coach you. Let me talk to Joycia. I still remember, I said, let me talk to Joycia. You will definitely get you the one that is suitable for you. Then after that, he said, hey, my brother-in-law also got problem. I think they are also facing some problem. Maybe you can do a BHC with them together with them. Then I say, okay lah, give him my number lah. Then we arrange a BHC. Then before I go for that second BHC, I also pray. I say, hey God, if really you confirm you want me to be a strategy coach. I say after the BHC he say he want coaching. So okay I go and do the BHC for him. After the BHC, then that time I was new. Okay, then there's what is your insight? Actually the insight, one insight, the insight is for us. I don't know. I thought it's for the client. Then I asked the client, so what is your insight? He said, Nick, my insight is I think I really need a coach and I hope you can coach me. Wow. That time I said the same thing. Okay. Yeah, I think you really need a coach. But let me talk to Joshua. I will get you the right coach. So I think that is actually a turning point for me. I realized that coaching is, to me, that session, I think both sessions, I realized one thing is that I help them to find out clarity. I think we are not there to teach them how to do business. They have been in the business for the past 10 or even 20 years. We are not there to teach them how to do business. But we are there to help them to have clarity. I think that is very important. I think that is where when they told me that, hey, wow, 这个 BHC 让我看到一些东西they realize something, different. Now I think that, this is the area that I'm not good at. This is the area that I need to strengthen. That is what I.
Wow. I just want to go deeper on that because you said our goal is to help them to find or have clarity, right? Can you elaborate more about that?
You see, I think, like I said, all these entrepreneurs, they are not lazy. They are not lack of idea. They have a lot of idea. But is it they have the clarity? I think that is, just assume now we are having a meeting with the HOD, okay? Whenever the boss says something, everybody will share, okay, or okay, okay, low side, okay, yeah. What that we never hear is that when they go for their break or they go for their smoking session, those I saw, like that also can. That is the voices that we will never ever heard. Okay, but as a coach, when I'm doing a business health check with them, to me, business health check is a diagnose. Okay, we are there to diagnose. Hey, what actually is your problem? We are not there to prescribe. Wow, I give you this. You need to eat this. You need to eat that medicine. No, we don't prescribe. We diagnose first. We need to. If sometimes the problem that they told us might not be the real problem. We need to diagnose and beneath what actually the problem is. That is, I think, that is me is the empower effective business health check that is being carried out.
Yeah, I think why I want to ask that is, in fact, I felt you have pointed the really spot on the essence of BSC, and not only essence of BSC, it's also essence of our direct coaching, because we are not there to help them to execute. Yeah, we keep them accountable, but one big value is really clarity, right? I think for those who are able to have a higher chance of closing or getting a client, is that they will help them to find clarity. That's why I want to ask you, what is that clarity mean? If I would ask, if you can give example, what not only this particular client, but those BSC that you've done, that you know that you actually help them to find clarity. What are some examples so that it's very obvious for the coaches who hearing this to know? Oh, you see, maybe before that, I then suddenly say, oh, now what is the example? Yeah.
Okay. If you were to ask me this, for me, a lot of times the business owner, they are the most geng chao one, the most geng chao, okay, in the company. Okay. If that is the case, I would say something is not right with the company. Because for us, we know, we don't want to be the most geng chao one. We want to employ people that I got 10 HOD. All of them, they are much more geng chao than me. They are much more capable. They are much more capable than me. Their competency is higher than me. I think we want that. Okay. But when I talk to entrepreneur, during the BHC session or during the conversation, they tend to pinpoint a lot of things. It's about their team. It's about the market. It's about the country. It's about their people. Everything is about them. Nothing about themselves. But my question is, who are the one that employ them? You are the one that made the decision. And if they are the problem, then why are they still with you? That should be a reflection. Okay. So I think BHC somehow, okay, because we are out. For me, it's very simple. I'm not there to please him. 你中唔中意我? You like me or don't like me? It's okay. But I need to bring out the truth, the real thing, what is underneath the carpet. I think that is the thing that we need to bring out, because if not, everybody will be the staff will be saying the things that 老細要聽到嘅咯, what they want to hear 咯. Oh, 咁樣 no, I'm not there. 我又唔係 I don't take salary from you. But I make sure when you spend 1.5 hour, 2 hour with me, I make sure you get something when you back after this conversation, this meet up with me. Okay, remember Nick, remember that 10x is something that, hey, I think I met this Nick, you got something back. And that is, 呢個係我最 my ultimate goal.
Yep. Wow. Good. Thank you. I think that is very good. I think what I like is really BAC is diagnostic, it's not prescription, right? It's not. I think a lot of coaches, so maybe they are entrepreneurs themselves. They used to straight away give solution to their staff, or some are consultant background. They just give solution, but it's really a diagnostic tool to help them, or perhaps to help them to see what is the problem or opportunity they have, not giving them the solution.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Great. Next question is before you of course start succeeding as a coach, what was the biggest struggle you faced? When I say succeeding, of course, everyone have a different definition of succeed lah. But maybe everyone have in other words, doing well. Everyone have a different definition of doing well lah. But on your own terms, before you are doing well as a coach, what was the biggest struggle you faced on the journey there?
For me, I think one of the biggest struggle in the beginning was learning that just because I've been an entrepreneur for many years, doesn't mean that people will automatically trust me, listen to me and value what I carry. Okay, I think a very important lesson for me is that because I realized coaching is not about knowledge. Okay, it's not about giving the answer or I think it's about let me understand that it's about how we can connecting with people and how we can listen deeply, and of course how we can ask the right question and how we help people come into clarity. Okay, so and I think one mistake many people make in the beginning, including myself, is wanting to help too fast. Okay, wow. But over the time, I learned that coaching is not about talking more, but it is about helping people see clearly enough to move forward.
Wow, good. Yep, I think it's very good. It's not about what I hear is say. In fact, many people think of coaching is about having a knowledge, sharing all the right answer, and it's not true though. I think like what you said. In fact, a lot of coach started to also think, oh, what is the value of a coach if there's a AI, right? Oh, there's so many answers. There's cloud, there's ChatGPT, da 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 da. So, but in fact, if they think like of course, I also use a lot of AI, and I also highly encourage coach, not only coach, everyone, client, coach, all should use AI, right? So that's why I had an equipping session called "Make AI Your Coach," right? So, but because they say if coaches is still thinking of, hey, if there's an AI, why do you need a coach? They still think that they are the source of the answer, which is not because
Yep.
ChatGPT can give you all the answer. But the question is, how do you help? ChatGPT can give you 100 answer or 10 answer, 20 answer. So how to make the right decision, right? Helping the client to have the clarity to make the right decision.
Yep.
And most importantly, also have the confidence
Yep.
that this is the right decision. And of course, ultimately, is the result, right? So we ensure them or keep them accountable to execute and achieve the result. So, like I said, coaching is not about information. Coaching is about transformation, right? We are not in the information game. If you are in the information game, we sure lose to everyone, right? But we are in a transformation game. So that's why what you said just now, listen deeply and then attentively, connect, ask. All this is what we should do as a coach to help them to achieve the clarity and to have the confidence to make the right decision and eventually achieve the result, right? It's clear enough to move forward. So great.
One thing I want to add, maybe from here, I think I still remember the other time we have a exercise that we need to do. I emphasize that actually I use ChatGPT, and you say, hey brother, you don't need to mention you use ChatGPT. I think I worry that you never use ChatGPT. I think I totally agree with you that, okay, I think before I came for this podcast, I also, you have already given me the question, of course, I prompt and, what suits me and how exactly. You see, everybody is using AI, everybody is using ChatGPT. Does it mean that everybody will be the same? No, it's not. They are not Joshua, they are not Nick. They are different. And some even paid and unpaid, not paying. How are we going to get the right answer? I think that is different. But I think the thing is that we need to know, okay, because as a fundamental of 10x, we have our system. We already have our system. But does the system really fit into that client? We need to know, we need to have a realization of, is it suit our, doesn't mean that, everything suit everybody. No, it don't work that way. If it work that way, easy then we will have 20x. We have 20x strategy coach, we have 30x strategy coach, we have 100x strategy coach already. Easy ma. Everybody just duplicate, just use ChatGPT. No, but it don't work that way. I think the question is how are we leveraging on the AI? I think that is how we. I think people say AI will be take over by people who don't know how to use AI. I think is people will be take over by people who don't know how to ask transformative question to prompt the AI. That will be the changes, the big difference from that.
Yeah, good. I think I agree. I think I echo that. That's why if we used to introduce this term called efficacious, right, or high efficacy. And then that is in one of our 10 elements of building a world class team. In fact, it will be with my next book, right? So it's hard. We say we're having have an efficacious way system to do things. So a lot of people ask, what's the difference between effectiveness and efficacy, right? Efficacious. If you ask, actually, most general answer is, actually, what is efficacy? Or it's being effective.
Being effective.
Yeah, it's actually same, right? Then why do you need two words? But actually, clinically, it's different, right? Doctor will know this, of course, doctor can clarify can correct me in a comment. So like I said, when I have a virus and I have an antivirus and you put under the microscope, you put this antivirus and the virus die. This is very effective. Okay. So, but now the virus is inside the human body and I put in the same antivirus, it doesn't kill the virus. Why? Because inside got other viruses. So when you go in, so you need to tweak and the prescription that when the virus inside the body, considering other part of your body, and it's still, that's why some of the medicine, no choice, they have to kill other than that virus, because that's the only way for me to kill this virus. So then this medication, they can say it is effective but low efficacy. It's effective to kill this virus, but when it go to the body, it's low efficacy. But that's why we need to tweak one, not just effective, but when you go in, it's high efficacy. Means that you go in, it also kill that. Actually, it's exactly the same as really doing coaching and consulting.
Yeah.
Because if everything is just have a standard answer, effective, then every company will be very successful, right?
Yep.
But why it doesn't work? Why can't I just put the Google way and put into every company? Because the organ inside the virus is different. For example, means that we have a different competency. Our people are different age, different language, different so the organization is different. That's why I cannot just put what works. Yeah, it's actually very effective for them, but low efficacy for you, right? So you need to tweak and decide based on what is in you.
Yep.
Another very obvious example, I always say that a 6-pack program, for example, right? So they say, and this coach have a very effective way to have a 6-pack program. You eat like this, you do like this, you do like this, do like this. He himself did it, someone else did that. So I will do it for you. And what if you have a heart problem and halfway through the program you die already? You see, doesn't mean it's not effective. No, it's very effective. But I didn't consider your condition.
Correct.
So that's why I think coaching is that, right? I can give you everything, and I can give you all the what works for me in my business. Whatever works for Hippopo, you can you're supposed to apply for them, right? But no, because they are unique individual, even though there are some similarities. So we need to understand enough to give you that prescription that is having a high efficacy for you, that is efficacious for you. I think that is what it means, right? Else everyone just get the information, pump, apply, win. So yeah, good. I think in your word you use suitable, right? So I think if I just more specific, it's actually is efficacious, not being just effective. Good. Next part, I will go to the client part, right? Okay. I want to understand. Of course, many of your clients, they themselves are strong entrepreneurs. And the question is, how do they usually find you to be the coach, right?
Okay, for me, very simple. Most of them come through trust, referral, reputation, and of course, results. Okay, I think strong entrepreneur, they don't get attracted by noise. Okay, they get attracted by substance. Okay, a lot of them come because they saw the impact that we have done in another business owner, and or someone that they trust, and they told them, hey, I think you need to talk to Nick, So I think that says a lot, because at that level, people are not just looking for someone who can talk well. They are looking for someone who can really help them think and, of course, move forward or move better.
I want to know, let's say your first client, first 2-3 clients, how do you get and how do they find you, so that other coaches also know how you get your client. You may not be directly applied to them, but at least they know, because I interview a lot of coaches. So then we find every coach have different way of getting their clients. So what about you, your case?
Okay, so my way very simple. I think whenever I have a client, my first thing is that, can he be my legacy client? Okay.
Meaning, what is the meaning of legacy?
Legacy, that means I will serve them throughout. Okay. So that's why I hardly 我好驚攞到新嘅 client 嘅 because all my clients follow me for many years. Okay. I don't have the privilege to have slot, I think. So a lot of them, they are be with me for many years. Okay. So to me, I think that's one thing. I build relationship with them. I think coaching is not about all the the know-how, all these things. I think that is in the beginning stage. But further down the road, it's not only that. Okay, I think relationship is very important. Okay, 有没有关系你跟他? Okay, I think we got relationship. I even brought few of my clients into Christ, of course, and then 3 P&L. In our 10X, we talk about 3 P&L. Profit and loss definitely is one thing that we look for. the figure. But second, passion and love is about the brand. But the most important thing in the end is about their leadership, their purpose in life. I think that is the purpose in life. I think a lot of transformation start from there, comes from there. I think for me that is one thing. And how do I usually find them, all these entrepreneur? And another thing is that I think you need to create how to say that, how to put it in words. That means a status of you in 10x, okay? Because there's 100 over coaches in 10x.
A positioning.
A
How do you
positioning.
differentiate yourself among
Yes.
even the 100 coaches?
You see, that's why you see we are I'm hockey, you know. People want me, but my time, I don't have the privilege to. So you see, can we make sure that people hunt for you and not you are the one that hunt for them? Okay, but how can you make sure that people hunt for you? You must be something. It's not that we have to be, but what makes you need to create results. Okay, results not only, definitely first thing first, you need to create a result for your client. Before that, beside that, what other thing? Okay, a lot of people think that coaching is like 8 hours only. Oh, go there 8 hours, 8粒鐘啊, okay, coaching 走咗. But I build relationship with them. 8粒鐘, Joe, you want to eat dinner? With who? Your wife? Hey, come on, can I tag along? I go. 我去啊. From there, I tend to realize, hey, Joe, if you are my client, how is the relationship with the wife? How they talk, how they interact. Maybe I see something is not right or what. I can correct him in the next session, of course, not in front of the wife lah. You know. So I think that is something valuable whereby the client feel that. Because I brought it out the next coaching session, I said, hey, that day, remember I want to sit with your wife, you know. Then you say this thing, I think not so appropriate, brother, you know. What do you think? You know, then they say, hey, yeah, I never realized that. Sometimes value is not only on business. Value also on their relationship. Value also on how you be a leader, how you be a boss. I think that is the thing that they get from me.
Wow, interesting. I think what I hear is the result, not only a business result, but also life result, right? In fact, that also, I would think, you emphasize a lot on relationship. Of course, you know, then you also mentioned about result, right? And here you talk about business result, talk about relationship, result. So I think these two things is really constantly popping up, is relationship and results. Both are important, right? I cannot have a lot of relationship but no business result, also die. But a lot of business result but totally no relationship, also not long lasting. So how do you juggle between these two? Or what is there an ideal ratio, 50-50, 80-20, or there's no such ratio, but they a way to juggle it or prioritize it, or different season focus on different things? How do you manage the expectation of relationship and result?
Okay. For me, I don't know how, or I don't know about other coaches. For me, relationship and result is equivalent important. But does it mean that 50-50? No. Because I cannot define the 50 result for the client and the 50 result for the relationship. I can't do that. I only can define 100% result and 100% relationship for me. Okay? 我只會做100%. My 100% is not their 100% because my 100% might be their 20, might be their 30. But I will make sure I deliver 100% of result and 100% of relationship with them. So to me is that how, okay, when we have coaching 8 hours, 4 hours, after that, then during the coaching, we only talk about coaching, we only talk about business, talk about core team, talk about value, talk about strategy, talk about leadership, talk about all these things, okay? But I think as an entrepreneur, okay, it's not about only this. How about our relationship if we are married or if we are attached? Because somehow or other, our relationship can affect us, okay? If let's say today, my wife giving me headache, giving me lots of problem, or the other half, my attached, my girlfriend, or do you think you can perform well in your business? I don't think so. So I think they make some really make a better. Okay, are we in the right condition? Okay, yeah. 好多時間 we know we know what is right we know what are the things we need to do we know, but are we able to do that at that specific time? Our emotional right. If we are not, then how are you going to deliver result? So I think we need to know. So when sometimes is that, especially when we are coaching, we ask our client to do need to do this, need to deliver that, but they never deliver. If we push too hard, it will go haywire. To me, we need to diagnose again. For me, I would think we need to diagnose again. Hey, what actually is happening? Is there anything wrong? What is holding you back? What is stopping you? Is it? I think that is a thing that we need to diagnose again. And when you have the thing right, I think you will even move faster. I think that is my thought.
Wow, good. Yeah, perhaps I will just want to again dive deeper down the relationship part, right? Can you maybe share one incident that relationship part or having the life result that really make a huge impact in their business journey? Just maybe one of client, you can don't mention name, but probably during the dinner session something happened or something pop up that you get resolved and eventually impacted their overall or even their life. Let's give an example because I know some coaches they don't build relationship. They only have business. They have no dinner, nothing with client.
Yep.
After business is done. So probably that will give them a picture of how that relationship part play a part.
Okay. For me, a few moments came out of my mind. Okay. I would say the first one I think is I remember one time I received a call from one of my clients, and he straight away he WhatsApp me. He said, Nick, 你知道吗？你怎么样啊？你在那边啊？你可以不要再coaching session 这样讲我啊，这样什么啊，弄到我很什么很不好啊，很什么啊。现在我的老婆很生气啊，跟我吵架啊，you know all these things. Okay, I receive because I know he's not in a good condition. So I receive. Okay. Then I say, it's okay. Can I give your wife a call? Then he say, yeah, wow, please go. Then, okay lah. I give the wife a call. I settle everything. Then everything settled already. Okay. Then the next day, I think few days later lah, I give him a call. Again, I say, are you okay? He say, yeah, I'm okay. I say, I need to clarify something with you. I said, the other day you called me up and remember how the way you talk to me and you say it's my issue, my problem, I shouldn't. I said, I never did that. I never bring you down. I just asked you about the execution, about the work, about why this is not done. Your wife is the one that think that you never get the things done. I say, don't put your problem and into front. I say, now
Don't blame it on me
don't blame it on me now, because now I think you are okay. That's why I talk to you. But if I talk to you that time, we will quarrel already for sure. But I bring it, then I say, 所以你不要把你的事情所以你现在 now you can understand where I come from. I say, now I expect an apology from you. I say, although I'm a coach, you pay me. I say, but I need to emphasize it is not 不是我的问题，是你的问题，不要将你的问题变成我的问题，对吗？所以我现在 and did I help you settle 整个东西？有 ，OK。所以你看到吗？这个东西，他讲呀，是啦，我那时 at that time 我。So I think what I want to say is that a lot of time coaches they have a thought it's not wrong they are my client, they pay me 我要跟着那个 flow 咯。他是我的老板他给我钱我说 But no, for me, I think I will stand right, stand firm if I'm right. 所以 what I want to say is that 很多的时候 a lot of time there's people saying that 客人永远是对的，OK， 把客人永远是对的，我认同，把他对不完，对我来讲 ，OK， you have to know。what are the situation, what are the scenario you are facing now in order to 接受那个东西啦。 我不懂我讲好。
Yeah, good. Thing is clear. Yeah, just now I say there's one. What is other scenario that in your mind about life result? I mean,
About
or maybe
life result.
or maybe relationship.
Rela-
Not really life result, but
okay.
in the relationship it affected the whole thing. Or good or
It
bad
never
lah.
say
Whatever.
affected lah, but you see,
Influence, yeah.
I received call during midnight. Okay, my client called me up. Hey, okay, I got one on to say. Okay, I got this client. He want to, because husband and wife in the business. Okay, the husband called me. He said, "Hey, wow, Nick, I'm very angry. I need to scold my wife already. But before I scold, I check with you first. Because you say check with you first, ma. This scenario. How? You see, I can wall out her." Then I say, "Wow, brother, don't do that." I say, "Yeah, in the wrong. I think you shouldn't wall out her. You see, all these days, I help him to have a clarity. Actually, he is the one that is the problem. It's not the wife." Then he say, "Wow, luckily I gave you a call first. You know, I'm going to wall up my wife already." I think this is not the first time. A lot of time this kind of thing happen. I have also client that they call me up. How can I do this? What car? What car should I buy? What color? This and that. This house, should I invest that? I think what I want to say is that, are we able to become their loudest voice, their biggest voice? Okay, to me. Like, I think, Joe, you are one of my biggest voice. Of course, whenever I got problem, whenever I got issue, I will definitely come to you and listen to your perspective. You are not making decision for me, but you are giving me, this will happen, okay, the scenario and I make the decision. I think as a coach, I also deliver this to my client that, okay, I be their loudest voice. I say, 我要成为你最重要的事. Whenever they want anything, they will think, hey, call Nick, ask Nick, call Nick. I think as a coach, am I a good coach to them? I believe I'm definitely there.
Wow, good. Yeah, I think very good. What I hear you say is, as a coach, we are not just strive to be their biggest voice in business, but also in life, right? It's because of course we are not only a business coach, we are also a life coach, right?
Yep.
10x and John 10.
Correct.
So I think that is also what makes us very powerful and differentiated.
Correct.
And also fulfilled. I think for us, many of us, I think we are not just in for the business anymore, right? I mean, one more client doesn't make us richer, or less one more client, we won't die, right? It's
Yep.
like, I always say it won't change our life, but it can change our life.
Correct.
We are, I think also, I mean, I always share this, right? A strong positioning is where you go. It's not by me, by Dame Anita Roddick, the founder of Body Shop, says that a strong positioning is either you go where people can't go, or you go where people won't go. That is a strong positioning. I think for 10x, coaching, even business coaching, life coaching, a lot of people can do,
Yep.
right? But I think a lot of people choose to be high tech and low touch. High tech means, they, as much as then they can go through apps. There's a lot of AI response. There's a lot of FAQ. Then you can watch video recorder. So the more you high tech, the more lower touch. That means I don't need to engage the client so much. And I also know a lot of coaching platform, there's only certain time they coach, and then they only need a certain hours or the time that you can call. So a lot of restriction. But again, to be fair, I mean, I also respect because it's professional, right? Because, and most of them, if they are business group, they don't want to touch life because there's a lot of entanglement, right? It's very complex, and it's you cannot complete certain things, so it's just not professional. So a lot of business coaches just keep professional. Your marriage issue, life issue, and just don't bring it to business, right? So I think for us, the difference is that we want to be high tech. We also want to be high touch.
High touch.
Yeah, we want to touch. That's why I say, marriage issue family issue parenting issue whatever issue, we also want to touch that, right? And I mean, we want to touch the grandfather, grandmother, the son, the daughter, everything, right? But I thought our goal is not to be, there's a fine line between really busybody and really we want to really transform their life.
Yep.
Yeah, because I felt it's very hard to separate business and life, because business is part of life, right? Your life is your business, your life, and all are integrated. Just like we said, if you are not in the right mind, your life has so much challenges. How do you perform at work? In fact, this is also when I first doing consulting many years back. You know, consulting, we have a lot of framework, we have a lot of report, we did a lot of research, right? So I still remember the first few clients that I really go into first consulting, of course with my chairman at the time and mentor. So we everything is done in the business. The system, framework, everything, implementation, all done. But eventually, the relationship, the father and the son cannot talk. The husband and wife cannot talk, and then there is. It's the relationship that got the business started. So we actually went in to help to resolve the family issue. So after 2, 3, I asked my chairman that time, I said, hey, are we a business consultant or are we a family counselor, right? It sounds like a counselor. But I said, it's true. But I said, if the life doesn't work, I mean, if the relationship doesn't work, nothing move, right? So yeah, I think that's how important is being a relationship and result and business and life, right? Great.
And I think, 我记得 there's one time, one of my client, he called me out. He said, hey, Nick, I got problem. I said, what problem? He said, my sex life is not so good. I said, what?
Like they also call you.
Call me. I said, I cannot help you.
Wait, the voice call or video call?
Voice call.
Video call.
But I say, hey, I think I cannot help you. I say, 你唔係要我做嘛? Then no lah. I say, but that time, I got this business into the tea one.
Yeah.
Then I say, the most I can send you some tea you drink then maybe can get you into action.
Peak performance.
And it helps I send him and 真係得they got the third baby Wow, then he call me out, thank me. What I want to say also, another thing is that I think I remember, Joe, you always mentioned that brainwash. Everybody, all of us, we have been brainwashed by people. But you choose who to brainwash you. Okay? I think I also say that to my client. I say, hey, 我就係使你嘅腦啱聽冇？啱聽咪聽唔啱聽冇變咯。There are so many courses, there are so many platforms outside. Why you choose 10X? If you choose 10X, you have to follow only 10X first. Provided it don't help you. 幫你唔到nothing changes, all this. Then only you choose alternative, you go and look for 其他嘅嘛。If 幫緊你 helping you, okay, very good, continue. A lot of people, they okay 好好嘅. Then they go and look for alternative Why? Then they go and change, then they say, this thing don't work. No, you have to follow on all the way ma.
Yeah.
So I told them that also, the same thing. 你 brainwash 你揀到 okay 啱你又一直 follow. Then I think that is how I think for the continuation of the voice.
Yeah, good. So 10X can also solve sex performance issue.
The T.
Yeah, no, but I think beyond the sex performance means that the trust is so deep that
That
even
they
so
also-
private thing they trust you enough to tell you
Correct,
that. I think
correct,
that is really amazing.
Yep.
Right? So all the coach should try as to aim one day the client will call them about the sex performance issue. Yeah, cool. I think then last point you mentioned about the brainwash, I think it's true. I always people say, you're going to this course, or even going to church or going to this, it's got brainwash. So I say it's true, right? I mean, every day we wake up, what the first thing they will see if you look at Instagram, then you are choosing Instagram to brainwash you. You look at newspaper, you are letting this brainwash you. You choose to watch this program, you let it brainwash everything. You go to this company. So that's why I say you just need to choose your brainwashing machine.
Yeah.
Which brand of your brainwashing machine, right? If let's say I'm a Christian, I choose to go brainwash by Bible and go to church every week to brainwash. If you call that brainwash, so that I think it's a good thing for me. It's a cleaning, right? It's a cleansing process for me, right? If I become 10X, we have the way we brainwash you with our core value, with our principle, with our framework, with our best practices. If you think that is a good, that help, then choose that lah, right? Else, you're either choosing this or something else, right? If not, then what else, right? And that's why I say, one not so good thing is reading newspaper, right? I say always I've been reading newspaper for 20 years, right? Because all the headline is like negative. So some people read newspaper 1 hour every day there. It's like and most of the news are really negative, especially headline. But of course, I don't blame them because negative news attract eyeballs, ma. But every day you choose to let the negative thing to brainwash you, right? So that's why whatever you come up is negative it's not rocket science, right? It's logic. Like we always say about IPO, right? Besides just initial public offering, is input, process, output. And then IPO is actually the outcome. The input, the process, the output. So garbage in, garbage out, right? Quality in, quality out. So if you choose to input all the negative thing, of course, then why your life is negative, why your perspective is negative, it's no rocket science, right? It's very obvious. Right? That's why we choose our content, right? I choose what magazine to read, and there's always the saying, you are what you consume.
Yep.
People who go for, let's say, gym or bodybuilding, or they will know, right? Whatever you eat, you become that, right? You are what you consume. But to me, it's not just food, it's also spiritual food, right? And your mental food. What you hear, what you watch, what you listen, it's your input, and you become that, right? So a lot of, in fact, many times I kind of say, hey, why your thinking is different? Why your perspective is very different? Because my input is different. Actually, no different. I mean, I'm human, you are human, but because I choose quality books to read. I choose quality, even magazine to read. I go to global conference to input a different thing. Then of course, over the years, I also change the way I see things. The mental model change means that the processing, my internal processor also different, right? Then the output is very different. No? Of course, then the outcome is very different. So that's why I think going back to the brainwashing message, that choose your, that one is a negative thing of saying, because people like to say, like to use the word brainwash, then we just follow their style, mirroring, right? We just use that brainwash.
I know.
Yeah, but if we reflect the same words, brainwashing to a proper term is really quality input.
Yep.
You choose your input. So if you want to be in 10x, being a client or a coach, you are choosing 10x to be that input, right?
Just that I'm coaching from a real business experience. I have real mistake. I gone through real lesson, and I have been through all these things. That's why I think a lot of successful owner, they don't need more motivation. They actually need more clarity and perspective. And of course, you have to understand, 10X is a coaching platform that's supported by a consulting background and with a system that has proven to work. So it's not about guessing, it's about working the system. So for me, I think give business owner, and I think that give business owner a lot of confidence because they know they are not just getting advice, they are getting something that are structured and tested.
Wow, good. I think if I was someone that is equal about real, right, real experience and all that, real experience, real mistake that you have faced through. I think one very big difference is that also in the AI world, right? I mean, what's the difference between I can give a script generated by the AI, both persons say the same thing, you versus one maybe young entrepreneur. The difference is you have been through, you have faced through, you have done it, and you have really faced the wall, and you have the track record, right? So compared with someone who maybe don't even started a business before, and they say the same thing, maybe both are generated by the script. So when I thought about, talking about the mistake the entrepreneur make, for example, then you can key, right? And then both come up with the same script, and both of you memorize 100%, and then you say it out. The answer, the impact, it will be very, very big different, right? Because of course, people trust you, right? Because of reputation. So I also felt that is probably that's why the entrepreneur choose to work with you or even with 10X, because it's about role modeling, right? It's not just training. Actually, I see in the market there's a lot of people that, I have friends who are in the training industry, and they've been in the industry for quite some years. So sometimes when I hear what they say, it actually makes sense one, but why they don't gain a very big traction or success? So then I felt maybe because it's just talk. They have not done it, or they have not helped also other clients to create that results, right? So yeah, I think what you say is true. It's really the real experience and the role modeling.
I want to say something is that, I think when we talk about coaching, if today you were to come to me, hey, Nick, can you coach me? I say, yeah, can. If I'm not in 10X, you will come to me, Nick, can you coach me? Of course, can. So many experience, so many years in the industry, in the business, I can coach you. But what you want to learn? I don't know what to start off. But with 10X, it's different. 10X, they got a system. They got a framework. They got, the 10 pillar, the 100 days mission, all these things. I think that's equipped me to be a better coach now. If today I don't have the 10X, if someone were to come to me, you want what you want to learn? You ask me, then I teach you. I don't have a format. I don't have a how to say to put in words. I don't have a
Syllabus or structure.
yeah, a structure,
Structure and system.
and system. But with 10x, yes, I know what we need to do. We need to diagnose, then we need to find out the domino. We need to do an audit. We need to look at their finance. We need all these things that come. That's why I say I love 10x. I think a lot of things have already been done. You just need to fit into the system, because as we know, all coaches in 10x, they are all entrepreneurs. Okay, they know what is next. So I think that what brushed me out to be a good coach, and also not only a good coach, everything in 10x actually, I'm the one that benefited from it as well. My business has been doing well with a better strategy, because of 10x. Okay, they're gonna come home. You say so good. Have you used it with your own company? That is a real life testimony. I think that is strong thing. I think as a 10x coach, I think most of us, we are all entrepreneurs. You have to use all the framework, all the necessary things that we have learned, we are taught to our business. Then only we can speak with conviction. We can speak with confidence. Why it works? Because we've been through it, we use it, and it works for us. I think that is
Wow,
something
it's
good.
I think very good. I think that also a good reminder for all the coaches. All of them run their business, right? They should first really apply. They don't teach others and then they don't apply, right?
冇用過。
Yeah. It's like go restaurant, they recommend what food is good. This is good. I don't know. I also never eat before. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's why it's a good restaurant and a good hotel, they will let their staff to eat their food and they let their staff to stay in their rooms and have their service so that they can really recommend from the heart, right?
Yep.
It's good because I tasted it.
Yep.
And same thing for us. All our coaches should also apply in their business. If you say, hey, this is good, let's say you tell client pen is very good. Do you pen your loved one and your staff, right? If you don't, then it's very hard, right? How do you ask people to do it? So great. I think also sum up with what you shared just now, the 3S is strategy, structure, and system, right? So that makes 10x different, and which is also our core, right? Not just execute, but first, I think we have a very clear strategy, a blueprint, and we also strategists. We help clients to choose the right direction first before pushing them or helping them on their execution.
Yep.
Then we have a clear structure and system. I think that is what truly helps not only 10x but help ourselves. I mean, eventually brainwash, right? After the wash enough or even have the right, keep repeating the input enough, we become very strategic, or we also become very structured, and we also think system, right? So that it will rub off to the client as well, right? So great. Next question. If a new coach wants to attract high quality client, what should they focus on first? If a new coach wants to attract higher quality clients, what should they
High
focus?
quality.
Okay, when I say high quality, this means because I also talk to other coaches, right? They say, oh, some of them did a lot of BAC, only they close one. Some do 1 BAC, they close one. Some do 5 BAC, they close one. Some do 10 BAC, they close one. So I think sometimes not just the way they do BAC, it could be also the client, whether they are, maybe this is a really very small client that, I mean, they just started 1 year, 100,000 revenue. How can they pay you the fee, right? I mean, maybe it's not right client, or when I say right, could be two. One is the size, one is the mind, right? It could be the right size, but the client is saying, oh, I'm very good, I don't need help, right? I mean, how do you help them? So what did you focus on when you say want to attract higher quality clients?
Okay, I would say don't focus too early on trying to get clients. Okay, focus first on becoming the kind of coach that high quality client will respect. Okay, that means understand business deeply, learn how to diagnose real issue, and learn how to create clarity on a conversation, and of course learn how to add real value. So because high quality client they are not buying hypes okay, they are buying trust, they are buying maturity, they are buying perspective, they want usefulness. Okay, so and I think many coaches focus too much on how to sell. Okay, but I think before they become someone worth buying from, for me, they have to focus in become someone valuable first.
Yeah, I think this is very good. When you share this, of course you switch the perspective around, right? Rather than focus how to attract, but who this type of people will respect, or what type of people they are. It remind me of two things: business and life. On business part, of course, knowing me, okay, I would say people who know me well and not so well, right? People who know me not so well, they will feel that I'm a very DISC, right? They'll feel that I'm a very high C person because the way I plan, structured. And actually, when I first started in the career, when I do a test of DISC, my C is maybe 1 to 10 is 2 or 1 or 2. But because I know who is my audience, my audience is entrepreneur, and they usually are low C, high D, and they respect people with high C. And I also know that I want to go into consulting, and consulting need a high C. So I actually train myself to be high C. So that's why when I think one of my most the longest clients and become friends and one of the most influential, impactful, he first met me, he would thought I'm a very, very high C, 1 to 10, 9, 10. Even the first time he meet me, you see me the way I plan. He someone say, hey, can I come again to your office and bring my PA along and you can teach her how you plan so she can plan for me and all that. So actually it's trained. So why people will close to me? Because naturally I am high I, right? So, and I know this C is just a tool for me. I know that they respect high C, so I need to activate that law. And of course, those who close to me, because in my casual day, my weekend, or the more, that's why my friends will joke that, so the more nighttime, I go back to my original self, right? Less C and high I. So that's why I think one is, because this is be a coach that the high quality client will respect. So same, I know that my client will respect high C. So I train myself to be that. That's business, right? And of course now today I can activate when I want to use. To me, DISC, I don't see it as a labeling. I see your backbone. I know I and D is my backbone, but I also train up my S and my C. So whenever I need to use it, I use it.
Need it.
Yeah, I need it, then I show up. So that's my business. And I think another part, even marriage. Okay, when marriage, I actually, interestingly, she thought it's a joke, right? But I think I mean it. So like, of course, every woman will want to, of course, same like guy I'm just saying both sides But you see a lot of young lady who want to marry, of course, successful, rich, good looking, right? All sorts, everything you want So you want a very successful man to be your husband, right? So, and usually you see where they go, how they behave, and how they. I mean, no, I'm not saying all. I'm saying there are a particular group of people. They will dress up very beautifully, sexy. Then they go to clubbing. They look for people who are rich and all that. Eventually, most of them may not end up with the right person or right marriage. That's why, in fact, how they need to see, they should go and look at all these rich, successful men, how their wife look like, how their wife behave, what is the character of the wife. You should look at that and towards the direction. That's why I always do. I ask in our John Tan Family group, I say, hey, you all should go out and do some courses sharing because they let them see. You see, of course, there's Hao Chun wife, Sissy wife. Of course, I want to say my wife also right? None of them is at that perception. All of them are very, really good character. 很严肃. I mean, your wife also, right? Look at, that is supposed to be the profile of, if you want to find a man who really love you, right? I'm saying, not blowing our own trumpet, right? But it's true, right? People who are, so you first need to be like that, lor. So, yeah, good. Next, I will go into the PAC. Of course, there is one area which is our very important part of our. I cannot say not very important. Is not a good, not suitable enough. It's actually our essence, right? It's our one and only, and the one kick 10,000 times, our secret weapon. Not just to, a lot of people think that it's our secret weapon of our marketing. And actually, I don't see it that way though. I see it as it's really a tool, a platform, an opportunity for us to transform, touch lives and touch business, which is our business health check, right? A 10x business health check. And in the market, I also hear from many people, of course, a lot of people also try to do the business health check, and some even almost like similar version, like after they could became internet before and leave. But I hear people who receive, and I actually, true enough, I have occasion that I have a few of them who actually receive business health check from both party.
Okay.
That's why I got to know it's actually is very similar, right? But the answer from the client is say, some will say it's very hard to explain. I don't know how to explain, but just different. Even though it's the same question, then one have a better expression. He put it in this way that I can feel that the way 10x do is really caring. It's really
Caring.
really 很真诚,很真心. I don't see the dollar sign in the eye, right? That's what I feel very differently. I can feel that I'm not saying that some other good or bad, but they just feel it's more commercial. For us, it's more caring, right? So I said, wow, okay, interesting. That's why I want to ask this for that's what I said. But for your perspective, when you go into a business health track, when you go into a BHC, what is your mindset?
Okay. BHC is my strength. My mindset is very simple. I think I'm not. Last time I phrased it as I'm there to impress, but I think I want to change it. I'm actually here to uncover. Okay, a BHC is not a performance. It is a diagnosis. To me, I see it like a business health checkup. It's a really business health checkup for the business. My job is not to show them how much I know, okay, but to help them to see clearly what is really happening in their business. Okay, so because many times the visible problem is not the real problem for me. Okay, so I need to go in with curiosity, with focus, and the heart to really help them see what really need to be seen. So that is a business health check for me lah.
Yeah, right now. To help them see what need to be seen and uncover what is invisible to visible, right?
Yeah.
So from the root to the fruit. So yeah, I think help them to see beyond what is underneath what is hidden, right?
Correct.
And help them to make the invisible visible and see what need to be seen. Very
Sometimes when they say, this is the problem, no, usually it's not what they thought. Okay, in the end, they will think that, I think this is not my problem, or actually, that one is my problem. They will realize something. That is a very good, I would say a shift lah, whereby they see something different that actually is a value added to them that they see something different lah, and they find out something like a health check lah. You need to wait for we go for a health check. They need to get your blood lah, send for checking, then only they send back or they give you a report. The same thing, through business health check, through that 1.5 hour, 2 hour session, they are able to see, wow, actually, my problem is not that all. It's this all. And I did that a lot of time.
Wow, interesting. Good. I think you really see a business health check and also like a body health check, right? How do you match the similarity of both of them? Yeah, I think very powerful. In fact, the mindset that we always encourage them to see, don't see business health check like a business health check. Like for you, you see like a body health check, right? It's really to go there and diagnose, right? It's not to just perform and it's like, yes, help them to see what need to be seen, right? Like your blood sugar is high, then
Yep.
then they didn't know, they thought it's this, but actually it's this, right? And help to make the invisible visible.
Yep.
How to uncover what is
Correct.
underneath the root,
Correct.
right? So yeah, I think that is one. And in fact, I think if people really see business health check just as a business health check, most of the time it's not high value, right? If they see it differently, then perhaps the outcome will be better. Like we also encourage them, we say, don't see business self-check just as business self-check. See it as a blessing, helping, and caring, right? We say BHC, not just on business health check, but see it as a blessing, as helping and caring. If you really go in with the mindset to bless, mindset to help, mindset to care, the outcome turn out usually is very good.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like I say, may not be your client, but they will remember, oh, Nick
Yep.
came to bless me, Nick came to help me, and they care for me, right?
They might not need you, and they will introduce someone that needs of your service.
And it may be not now, maybe 3 years later,
Yes.
came back to you, right? And in fact, consulting is a very obvious. Coaching, I think we don't need to wait so long to see the fruit because maybe because of the fee also, right? I think coaching sometimes is 1 year later, 3 months later, 6 months later. Max I hear is 2 years later. I don't know whether anyone will longer than that. Means that now not right, but 2 years later become client. The longest I think is 3 years. In consulting, I experienced 10 years. Means that today I add value, 10 years later he become my client.
Wow.
Yeah. So because the fee is also more, 1 million, 2 million. I remember vividly one prospect, right? He came to us, father and son is manufacturing. So of course the father is a manufacturer, so he see everything in dollar and cents and everything as production. So but he want to invest in brand. And because he know, because even though he know brand is powerful, why? Because he manufactures his OEM, right? He manufacture for a US brand. And the US brand is like a top one in US. So he actually know the formulation, right? Because the lab also come from him. He also gives the formulation. So he add on more ingredient, better ingredient, and he charge half of the price of the product. And his sales is not, it just cannot even compare, cannot even survive. Then he know it's just not about product quality because my product quality is better. So it's about brand. So he said, okay, I want to invest in brand. So I give him a fee, a budget on building a brand. Because business and brand is very different, right? One is the logic, one is the magic, right? One is profit and loss, one is passion and love. And it's not so easy to measure. So the moment we give a budget of few million, then he should everything. If this I can buy 2 machines, and these 2 machines every day can produce how many bottles? He cannot. It's important, but he just cannot justify. Right? And he keep asking us to justify for him. Then we did our best, right? But of course, not everything is super exactly measurable to the dot one. So, and I always emphasize this, in brand. In fact, in life as well. I said, what easily count usually doesn't count.
Yep.
What very hard to count usually counts, right? For example, if in business everything can count, right? I can count not only just P&L, I can count everything, right? How many times the door open, how many times the sales call, everything I can measure. But how many times my door open, is it important? That's why I always ask, right? We ask what's the metrics that matter, right? Even Facebook, online, everything can be tracked. But what is the most online? What everything? How many shares? How many likes? How many seconds? Where the heat map? Everything can measure. But what is the most important metric for Facebook? Is daily active user. Is the metric that matter, because if you don't active in that platform, means that you're active in other platform. Takkan you are a social person, suddenly you don't go in social media. You should go in, but you just go to other platform. So that's why they acquire other platform, Insta, wherever you spend your time, I want to take, so that you still spend time in my, as long as you can advertise to you. So that is, although they can track everything, but that is their metrics that matter. So for us, I say, in business and brand, not everything easily measured, that easily count. Most of that don't count. For example, in life, what is very easy to count? How much money you have, how big is your house, how many cars you have. All this easily count, right? But in the end of the day, does it really count? Most of the time, no. But what really counts? Relationship, joy, love, fulfillment, happiness. Very hard to count.
Very hard to measure.
Very hard to measure. But that is what really counts though. So I think in business it's the same, right? So that's why I say, brand. That's why, but the challenge is, that's why we will know as a tennis coach, right? Is when we do PMS. You will find I will always use this quote during the PMS because very hard to count. They just go to measure those easily measured one. But not necessarily the easily measured is what counts, So they just go and measure everything that's easy to measure. That's why we like to use, if we cannot measure, but it's very important, we use rating, right? It's more subjective, but it's what really counts. So, I think go back to the point I said, the client, 10 years later, right? Same. No matter how, the father just cannot see it. And then I still remember the son, before he left, he said, wait for me. When my father passed me the business, I will look for you. 10 years later, he called. My father passed me business already.
Pass you the business.
Pass me the business, him the business already. No, not pass away. Right? He said, my mother, I don't know whether it's passed away. I didn't ask enough because I was rushing in the meeting. So he just called me and said, hey, can we meet? He said, now I'm in charge of the business. We can talk now after 10 years, Yeah. So anyway, but I think why I'm sharing that is that we just need to go in with blessing, helping, and caring. And even they end up become our client or not. And again, not everyone will come back. Some even not come back after 10 years, right? But they always remember you as someone who bless them, help them, and care for them, right? So good.
One thing, maybe here, this one sidetrack a bit. I think when you talk about this, when we always hold the metrics, it's about how many our coaches, they do their business health check. I think that is, we want result. But result doesn't only come from them. But result also how you build a relationship with your client. How often, how, all these things, all these soft skill, I think it is something that probably we need to look into to improve the coaches sustainability, renewal or whatever, I think 这个可能是一些东西
Yeah,
that is
good point. I
something
write
that,
down first.
that is something that because we always look on the metrics, the metrics that matters, but the metrics that matters not only that. Beside that,
So how to measure relationship?
Yes, the metrics relationship. I think that is something we talk about renewal. We talk about sustainability.
Good point. Okay, so we are also in a business health check context, right?
Yep.
So what are the key things you are listening for during the conversation in that BHC?
Okay. Of course, I'm not listening. Of course, I'm listening for the root issue. Okay, not only on the surface issue. I will listen to what they say about their sales, their team, their growth, their operation or profit. But beyond that, I think I'm listening for where they are unclear. And of course, what keeps them repeating and where they are frustrated and what they are tolerating on and where the real bottleneck might be. So because many times I think the first problem a client tell you is often not the real problem. Okay? So I'm always listening beneath the words.
Okay, so of course, I think we always say, read the room, read between the lines, and hear what is unspoken, right? We want to look for what is unspoken. And what is spoken, like I said, maybe not true or surface, but what is unspoken? And usually, what are those answer? What are those scenarios that, I will say, I got sales problem, I got this problem. And what is actually the underlying?
Okay, for me, I'm not saying all, but a lot of time they will blame the sales. They will blame the manager cannot deliver result the operation manager how to say, they never talk about the wastage this and that a lot of time. But I will ask them, who get all these people to work as your sales manager? Who employ this as your operation manager? Then they will say, I'm the one. Then do you foresee that the problem actually might come from you? Based on what scenario, based on how you define that he or she can be the operation manager, or he or she can be the sales manager. If you already said that, I already have that set, we need to deliver this, the target I already set to them, then how long he or she never deliver the result? For the past 1 year. Then why is it he or she still in your company if he's not delivering result for the past 1 year? That is what I say, that what are they tolerating for? That means you can tolerate this person not delivering result for the past 1 year. For me, 3 months, the max 6 months, cannot already. I give pressure already. So you see, I think a lot of times, to me, I think, like we always say, everything rise and fall because of leaders. So I think the leaders is the thing. How aware that you know that all your they are doing are they delivering their result? So you are not sure, if you don't know, then whose problem is that? It will be your problem. It's not your So if you identify that sales is not delivering, then you have to do something about it. It's not for the past 6 months and you say and you keep repeating for the past 6 months you're not delivering this. For the past 1 year you're not delivering this. But how can you let this thing happen for the past 6 months and past 1 year? That is my question.
Wow. Good. I think what you are listening, like I said, what is something that unspoken is always the root cause, right? Look for the root cause. I think what I hear just now is even like one specific incident of, let's say, performance. I think everyone have a performance issue, right? Or I put in the people, lah, right? Every SME, I think not only SME, medium size, big size, sure, people is one of the problem, right? People and talent. But I think you help them discover what is the criteria of hiring, right? And if that, most of them don't set the criteria, even you say, do you execute based on the criteria?
Yes.
And if they execute it well, then what about the performance management, right? Do you actually have a performance management system to
Correct.
measure, and what action do you take against that? Do you carry out it promptly, accurately, fairly, or so all this is part of the thing that they don't see, and they actually play a part of not doing that for the company.
Correct. Like in 10X, we got this 4C. Okay? What is the 4C? Contribution, competency,
Commitment.
commitment, and also character. Okay? In 10X, we talk about this 4C. So for me, I think, like 10X, we always say that the first thing first, you need to have competency. You cannot. So you need to have competency. Then from there, okay, you can have competency, but doesn't mean that you will have contribution or commitment because why? When I say commitment, then we say, hey, Saturday, Sunday, I need you to work. We have this exhibition at KLCC, you need to go there and work. Then you say, no, cannot. Saturday and Sunday is my family day. That means you don't have commitment. Then how are you going to contribute? Correct or not? And then character-wise, then every night time you after work, you go feng tao you go drinking all those things and you gamble and you don't have the character. So you see, in 10X, we always tell them when we want to build, how are we going to identify core team based on these 4C? So the first thing first, they need to have competency. When they have competency, are they able to commit? When you ask them for weekend, when they ask them for OT, when they ask them to work, to travel overseas, to outstation, some even outstation, I cannot go outstation then how are you going to deliver result? Cannot ma. So I think all these 4C, when we build our core team, I think that is a important factor that we look into lah.
Wow. Good. I think it's good. So when I ask them, character? Okay, good character. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so next, what moment usually determine whether the client was, you know that, okay, he is interested or he want to engage you?
Okay. Very simple. Once the client feel they understood. Okay. So when they feel this person really understand what I'm facing and can really help them to move forward. I think that is usually the turning point for me. Most of the time, I think the close doesn't happen when you show them the fee. Okay? It happens earlier. It happens when the client start to feel clarity, to feel relief, to feel confidence, and to feel hope again. That emotional shift is usually very important and lead to sign up on
Yeah. Actually, this is very important because just now, I think the first question itself, I already asked you. You were saying that, you are confirming whether this is whether coaching is what you want and is right for you. Of course, I remember one thing. Even just now, I think you didn't mention, but in our previous conversation, you said that you were sharing with that. Or I think the entrepreneur asked you, hey, whether it's something that you want to pursue. Then you say, all this small money doesn't help me one. Then he was saying that, but what if it it doesn't help you, but what if it help the other person, right? So that was the conversation. And just now you were saying that to validate that confirmation, you pray that, okay, if you do 2 minute self-check, if this is what you want, and the person will ask me, can you coach me? Actually, that's the desired result of most all coaches that I don't even need to ask for closing. The client will ask, will
They
say
want
that, hey, I need a coach. That's our desired response that they say, hey, even they don't say that they feel that I need a coach. In fact, I think even if they don't say it, once they feel that I need a coach, you just need to ask and then they will say yes, right?
Yep.
And if they don't feel that, even you ask, they won't say yes. So the question is, how do you lead to that desired response of them say, hey,
Okay.
can you coach me or not? Yeah.
Okay. I think one thing first is I don't know how other coaches do their business health check. But how I do business health check, I will understand what industry they are in first. Okay. So I will do a research. Before that, I don't really leverage on AI. Okay. I will go through Google, okay, manufacturing, electronics, production. I will go, what is their huge domino problem they face? Then from there I will understand, oh yeah, so this is so when I go into business health check, when we have the conversation with the prospect, they find out that actually, hey, 我哋傾得嚟嘅喎. We actually, I know what you are in, what you are doing. So we are in the same frequency, same. So that's where I think they makes them that feel that, hey, this person is not here just today. He really, although he's not in this industry, but he made an effort to understand what we are in, what we are doing. But like I said, okay, I want to emphasize one thing. No matter what industry you are in, the 10X strategy will, the engine, that 10 pillar is there. I don't care what industry you are in. It's definitely based on that 10 pillar. That is the, what I would say, the fundamental of business. Okay? And I always challenge my client, my prospect. I say, hey, brother or Mr. Who or me, if you ever come up with the 11 pillar, do let me know. I'm more than willing to bring it up to 10X, to the LT. If they think that this is the 11 pillar, I will reward you. I will go dinner, I will go yam cha, happy hour with you. But till today, I've been there for past 7 years. I haven't found any yet. Okay, I think that is one thing. Yeah.
Wow, powerful. Good. I think that's why I felt you also because you also very convicted in the framework, in the
In the 10
process.
pillar,
Yeah.
for sure, 10 pillar, nothing else.
Yeah. And the 3P&L, I mean,
Yes.
I think conviction, people can feel the conviction from you. And many times I felt client is buying your confidence.
Yes.
And you're so confident. And if you're not sure, maybe because you applied. If you don't apply, then you say, yeah, this I say, but I've never tried before.
Yeah.
It's like you recommend this dish. It's nice.
See how long?
I don't know. I haven't tried before. Yeah, I think good. Yeah, I think going back to the question is that actually you will know already whether the client will sign. You don't even need them to say. I think you will know when you help them to discover their problem, see a perspective,
Yes.
and in their heart they will say that I need a coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, BHC is a tool. Okay? If BHC is a tool, how well you master it. Since this is the only tools. It is the only tools. It's not the 10 tools. It is the only tools. Okay? And if today I will ask you, hey Joe, how well you master these BHC tools? 6 or 7 or I cannot accept. I will make sure when I ask that coach, he has to be 10. It has to be a 10 because it is the only tools. How can it be 9 or 8 or what? Because the only you master it. And how to master it? Very simple, everything is there already. Then you man. Okay, if you have done that for the 10 times, you have done that for 100 times, you have done that for 1 time, then nail review more, nail reflection more. Who to define that you did a good PhD? Who? Or you short sendiri, I have done 100, I'm master of BHC. Then I will question you, why you are still not take off yet? You get what I mean? I'm a very strict person. Okay, I'm an achiever for sure. Okay, but is it that 我勁啲? No, it's just that my conviction, like what you say, my conviction, my confidence. I know this work. No other than that. I know this is the one tools must BHC I need to master. I only master that. No, it's not a Nick BHC. It's a 10x BHC. 120 coach. Everybody go through the same thing.
5,000 times.
It's the same thing. 所以做咩我做得好啲？唔係我勁啲，我都係一對眼嘛。I also one pair of eye, one nose, one pair 一樣嘅。But how you do it? If let's say today you say, hey no Nick, you have more experience, you are 勁啲啦。The only thing I can admit is that I'm older than you. That's all. But I'm not 勁啲. You should be one day because record is meant to be break. Correct or not? Record 一定係 break 噶嘛，係咪 ？Before that nobody 3x. Then I remember you asked me, Nick, 你去做 3x 啊？Then 我 3x. Then I 3x and now got 4x, got 5x, got 6x. Correct or not?
Yeah.
So record is meant to be break. But it's just that, Nick,
The person who used it, right? And you give it to the right people, the master, they can really do amazing things. They can not only use it to close clients, they use it to bless people. You need to help people, care for people, to inspire life, to give hope, to even save a life, even save a business, save a marriage. So that's why I said, the other way, sometimes I just say PhD, if you don't want to say it as a tool, you can even call it an excuse. It's an excuse for me to help you. I just sometimes want to help people. I don't know how to help. This is an excuse for me to really help you. Yep, great. Thanks for sharing that. I think next question, you have shared some of them just now, but I want to emphasize that. What do you think is the biggest mistake coaches make during BHC?
The biggest mistake is they try to look valuable. They try too hard to look valuable. And a lot of coaches, they actually talk too much, explain too much, and most importantly, they solve too fast. Okay? But if you solve too early, you have to understand this. You might be solving the wrong problem. Yeah? So one big lesson in BSC is this. Don't rush to prescribe, like I said earlier, before you diagnose. Okay? Sometimes I think one good question create more value than 1 hour of talking.
Great. I think it's true. I think I agree. Sometimes, like I said, talk and explain too much and solve and prescribe too fast. I think that is very true. Like I say, try too hard to look valuable, right? So I think it's true. I think what do you think the biggest mistake? I was asking, right? I think, a lot of coach, maybe they try to impress, maybe, right? Or like say, try too hard to look valuable. If you are valuable, right? You don't need to try too hard, right? And I think I also shared always one big impact to me. I think, of course, thank God for a good mentor, right? I think Karthik have shared with me very, very early in my career. He said, he shared with me his beginning of his career, because he's consultant, right? So he said, strategist. Beginning of his career, he said his goal was to try to impress. Every time he given a chance to present something, to impress. But I say later stage of his career, the second half of his career, his goal is to be useful. So I think that very early stage in my life, I already planted that, the goal is not to be impressed, it's to be useful. So I think if the coach try to impress, most of the time, 反车 one, right? And the client will feel it. But when you go into to be useful,
help them see the clarity.
It may not be impressive, right? But they see clarity, they have confidence, right? And then they can commit. So I think also the other mistake you mentioned is very good. Talk and explain too much, and solve and prescribe too fast. So I think that is good. And one good question create more value than hours of talking, right? So now I think they should anchor on what is a good question. Yep. Good. One more question is, let's say, how do you communicate the value of coaching when investment is, of course, 36,000, 3,000 is considered easier, smaller business, but 5,000 means 60,000, 120,000. How do you communicate the value of coaching when the investment is higher?
Okay. I usually don't go into to defend the fee. I try to help them see the bigger picture. And then what is the bigger picture? Because many business owners, they are already paying a very expensive price. Just not to a coaching, just not to a coach. Okay? But they are paying through what? They are paying through poor decision. They are paying through slow growth, team issue, lack of execution, wrong hiring, and costly delay. So the real question is not what does coaching cost this much. The real question is what is the cost of staying stuck?
Wow.
Okay, so when coaching helps a business owner think better, lead better, and move faster, the value is usually far bigger than what their money fee. Simple as that.
It's good. I think very powerful. I think many times again you're going to justify the when the moment you try to justify the investment means that they don't see the value anymore, right? But when you just really not to defend the fee, you just need them help them to see the value. Help them to see the cost, right? The both point, right? Pain and gain, the fear and love. So if they see the cost and benefit, right? And all this both way, you can help them to see both. It's very easy to make a decision because what is the cost of staying stuck, right? That is a big
For the
cost.
past 1 year, for the past 2 years,
Past
not
10
even
years.
5 years, 10 years.
So I think it's true. Poor decision, slow growth. You just have to see the comparison itself, right? And I think what you say is good. They're already paying a high fee.
Yeah.
I think this is just that they don't know.
Yep.
So if you think, I think it reminds me of one powerful saying. You see, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. It's a quote, right? Saying, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Even more expensive.
Yeah.
So if you think coaching is expensive, try to staying stuck. If you think coaching is expensive,
Try
try
stay.
poor decision.
Try wrong hiring.
Try wrong.
Try costly delay. So the real question is not what does coaching cost this much? 36,000, 60,000, 120,000. The real question is, what is the cost of staying stuck?
In fact, one saying I hear from a listed company CEO is say, because when they reach to a certain level, their hiring is very expensive. Right? All the C level is 40,000, 50, 60, 70,000 a month, up to 80, 90, 100,000, 120,000 a CEO. One of the listed company I've heard. And he told me, the CEO told me, I said, wow, so expensive. Some more is Korean. That's why from overseas is different. You need to pay for everything else. So he said, I asked him why you are paying so expensive, CEO. He said, actually, the more expensive their salary, the lower our cost. I say, okay. I say, what do you mean by that, right? But of course your cost increase, what? Say, no, actually, when I say cost, it's because they will save us a lot of troubles and they save us a lot of time to make the mistake. So the cost is not really the salary cost, it's the cost of staying stuck for them it's not staying stuck, but the cost of slow growth, the cost of delayed decision. So for them, because they are few $100 million to $1 billion company, so the cost of having the mistake is much higher than the cost of paying a CEO of 80,000, 90,000. So I say, actually, they say the higher the salary means that in the word, he didn't spell it specifically, but it means that the higher competency they are, the lower our cost, right? So he said the more expensive the CEO, he said the lower my cost is. Like, wow, okay, very different perspective.
Yep.
And same with the other saying is that he said that's why he has so many decisions to make as a CEO. But of course, the group CEO, there are multiple CEO under him. So he said, he need to be very clear what type of decision that he should make and what type of decision he should not make or make less. So again, it's because for him, he said one wrong capital decision is worse than 100 operational mistake. One wrong capital decision is worse than 100 operational mistake.
Wow.
So because you're looking at the multiple group, right? So that's why he need to be very conscious about, he can make the 20 right decision in a operational. He just make one wrong mistake, or he make 99 right decision in operation. He just to make one wrong mistake in capital. That's why he just need to know that what is his priority and what focus he should put himself on. So of course, this is in a different level of context, but the same thing, I even put to the lower context. Imagine as a coach, we are going to help them to focus in the right thing. But of course, probably their perspective is different, but then if you help them to see what is the really decision that matter, what is something they should focus on, the one insight can change their game forever. So I think that is very, very powerful. I think eventually the value of a coach is cannot measure like say by per hour per day and this and that. It's really helping them to see what that one insight probably is worth everything else. So great. Next part of question is more on coaching, right? Of course, after the attraction, you get the client in, they want to engage you as a coach. In fact, that's just the beginning, right? And there are years of relationship to come. Like some coach, after I close, now I'm very happy. What's next? How can I retain the client, right? So it's really ultimately is delivering result, right? The coaching part. That's why I want to try to pick your brain on your clients. Some stay with them for years, right? So I want to see the method. How are you doing that? Or what is the best practices, right? So I think first question I want to ask that, in your view, what is the difference between giving advice and also coaching? Or maybe, I know this question will be tricky because 10x coach is not pure coach, right? We also like give some advice. Yeah, we don't call it advice, we call it suggestion, right? But it's like we give suggestion. We also help them in our definition of COACH. We challenge, we observe, we advise, or we help, we cheer, we help. So we do it very differently, but maybe in your view, what's the difference between perhaps 10x coaching or traditional advice?
My advice, from my view, it's not from my view lah. It's from the 10x view. And now I tell you my view lor. I think advice is telling people what to do. Okay? But through coaching, help people in 10x terms is see, own it, and
Live it.
lor. But I would say see and own and act lah. Maybe it will more relate to people lah. Okay, see, own and act. Because if you don't really see it, you won't own it. Okay, if you don't own it, you usually don't sustain it, and you usually, like I say, coaching is not about giving answer. So it's about helping people to think better and become stronger lah. They have to act lah. They have to do something lah.
Okay, so not telling them what to do, but helping them to see, to own, to act.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is the hard part. How do you ensure or help or make sure a client actually execute? I think this is a lot of coaches will tell me that, oh, you know what, I actually tell them what to do and then they know what to do, but they just didn't act. So how do you ensure they actually execute?
Okay, very simple. I always try to make sure every coaching session end with what? End with diamonds, end with clarity, end with ownership. So one thing I always do is that at the end of session, I ask them, hey, as our client, I say, hey, you need to share your diamond. Meaning the biggest insight and the breakthrough they got from today's conversation. Okay? So, but I won't stop there only. Then I'll ask them, what action are you going to take based on that? Okay? So because for me, insight alone is not enough. Okay? It must become an actionable insight. Okay? Like with tennis, we have this insight is not enough. We need to have actionable insight. And only when it become actionable, it has the chance to become transformative. So I always trying to help client not just feel clear, but also actually move. Because coaching without execution is just another conversation, a nice conversation.
Yep. Because there's no action, there's no result, and it equals to nothing, right?
Yeah, like we say, the 5 level of insight.
Yeah, I think that is true. I mean, coaching without action is another conversation, and it's a very expensive conversation.
Yeah, 60千哦，120千哦。
One conversation, 5,000 discussion, talk 咯, 5,000 conversation or 10,000 conversation.
Yeah.
Yep, good. I think this is something also. So sometimes they will coaches say, hey, why we use the same tools, we have the same system, but your client will listen to you and my client don't listen to me. Or your client will take action, my client won't take action. Of course, there's so many ways to see it, right? But for me, I put it at, because you don't have that enrollment power or enrollment skill. That's why in time we always ask people to do enrollment, right? Come to this platform. Of course, we only bring them to things that we believe they'll change their life, right? Come for John 10 Day, go for a Peak and Valley, come to the Total Toastmaster, go to BNI, go to the church or whatever. We believe that it can transform their life, right? And I said, because enrollment is just not one-off. Like say, BHC is enrollment. We need to enroll them to become a client. But actually, after they become a client, I said every coaching session is an enrollment session.
Yes.
We need to enroll them to have a new mindset, new skill set, and new tool set. Enroll them to do things the new way. If you don't, then what's the value of coaching, right? If you come in, everything is good. Just repeat, just continue doing what you do. If even you're a tennis coach or pickleball coach, imagine you hire a coach, whatever you do, correct, continue, don't need to change. Good, correct. If everything correct, then what for I need a coach? So that's why I always say, what is transformation, right? Because I said client don't hire coach for information. That's what ChatGPT do. But client hire coach for transformation.
Yep.
We are not in the business of information. We are in the business of transformation. We are not in the business of answers. We are in the business of results, right? So that's why, just like what Dato Sri Jalan always say that, I say, because they are in the business of transformation in the consulting world. So they always say, what is transformation? They say, transformation is recognizing the old way doesn't work.
The old way.
We need the new way, right? A new way, including new mindset, new skill set, tool set. You must first recognize the old way doesn't work. Means that doesn't work until it works until now. Now I want to go to the 100 million, it doesn't work. When I say 100 million, I want to go to 1 billion, it doesn't work. The old way doesn't work.
Yep.
It works until then. But now if I want to go to the next level, it doesn't work. So they must first recognize old way doesn't work. That's why I reach transformation. If not, don't hire a coach. If you just want, that's why I always felt that if you just want incremental growth a bit, you don't need to hire a coach. You just continue running your way, just tighten it, optimize it, you will still get it. But if you want scale, you want next level, you want transformation, then you need to hire a coach. But you also must ready to change, right? Hence, we also feel very clear in our platform what is teachable and what is coachable, right? Our first criteria of having the right client is that they must be coachable. And many entrepreneurs make a mistake. They think they are coachable, but they could only be teachable. And of course, very fine line, right? Teachable and coachable is very similar. It's everyone, when they're very teachable, they thought they're coachable. What's the difference? Teachable is willing to learn. A lot of entrepreneurs are like that. That's why they're entrepreneur, right? They know. But coachable is willing to change. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they're willing to learn, but they are not willing to change. Then they are not coachable. They are just teachable, which is good. But we want clients who are coachable, which is they are willing to change. We really want that lah. So good. I think that's a very powerful way, right? What you said, coaching without action is just another conversation. In order to get them into action, we must enroll them to have a new mindset, new skill set, and new tool set. So when a client gets stuck or stop progressing, how do you handle that situation? Okay. Maybe not 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, they are just stuck and then they are just stop progressing. How do you handle that?
Okay. When a client gets stuck, I don't panic and I don't rush to push to anything. The first thing I do is diagnose again. Okay? Because many times when a client stop progressing, the issue is not laziness. The issue might be sometimes is fear. Sometimes it is overload. And sometimes it is confusion. Sometimes it's because they know what to do, but they are avoiding what they need to face. Okay? Sometimes it's because they know what to do, but they are avoiding what they need to face. So I will usually slow down the conversation down a bit and help them see clearly what is really blocking you right now. What is really blocking them right now. Because once the real blockage become clear, movement become easier again. Okay? So for me, when a client is stuck, I'm not just trying to push them harder, but I will try to help them become clear again.
Okay. So what I hear is diagnose again. So you are the diagnose king.
Diagnose.
diagnose. But it's true. I think that everyone have a way of working things. So for you, once you find something is stuck, must be a reason, right? So you diagnose what is stuck, right? Rather than just give this solution, solution. But what is
Need
stuck?
to find out.
Yeah. Good. I think the very insightful. Next part, which where, like I said, some coaches are able to get client, but may not be able to sustain, right? Very fast, the client will not continue, but your client will be with you for many years, right? And your renewal is also like almost automatic, right? It doesn't really need to convince them why you should renew and all that. So next question I want to ask is more on retention, right? So some of your clients stay for many years and many of them stay for many years as long as you now. Once you start one, you continue with you. What do you think? Why do you think they continue to work with you? Why do you think they are so sustainable and retaining?
Okay. For me, I think one reason client stay is because the value keep going deeper. Okay. At the beginning, many clients may come in because of one clear issue: the sales lah, the growth lah, the team lah, the structure lah, or even the leadership. But I think over time, the coaching usually goes beyond that. Okay. It starts helping them with how they think, how they decide, how they lead, how they build team, how they build culture, and how they build long term. So it's no longer just about solving one business problem. It become a journey of growing the business owner as a leader. Okay, and I think that one big reason many clients continue to stay, that is one big reason why they continue to stay working with me.
Wow, interesting. So the same value keep going deeper beyond just one problem.
Yes.
But it's journey of growing the business owner as a leader. I think it's still the same question, more on a lot of coaches, especially new one, when they come in, they see, of course, can't help, when they come in, they just look at tools and frameworks, right? So many of them cannot imagine, hey, how this client will stay on for us for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, all the tools finished already, what? How do you all, what more, right? They all think of, oh, what new tools? Some even think, oh, maybe I need to find new tools. So, how do you respond to that, right?
Okay, for me, if we have that, if we say 10 pillar, 10 tools, 10 framework, finish already, 10 months finish already. Second year, do what? Do the same thing. But you have to understand, not everything we need to repeat, but there's a few core tools whereby my client, they are looking forward to that. Every year, and they will come to me, Nick, it's time to do 1 page. 1 page is a yearly thing that we need to do. Okay? And I have clients whereby I turn them into coaches now. So can I say that when they are in 10x, they don't need coaching already. Hey, Nick, I also in 10x already. So why still I need you? But I have a few clients, they are coaches, and they are still engaging me as their coach. Why? They evolve. So do I. Correct or not? I have this podcast session with you. It's an evolve session for me. From here, I learn something. I keep on evolving. Correct or not? They come in, they better. I also, correct or not? Because I'm still in 10x. Okay, I'm in the LT some more. Okay, so whenever there's new thing, we will try out first. Then only we say, okay, this is something new. Everybody have to follow. So I have the first hand inside the info, correct or not? And some more I have you. You keep on involving, you will share everything, good things, good info, good impartation to us. We have our thing. That's how we can build a sustainable business, I think, for 10x. For me, it's also the relationship and the bonding with our client. Okay, if today I go in, 4 hour, 8 hour, okay, I coach, finish already, I go back. Did I do a good job? Yes, I did. I would not say it's a good job. I would say it's a routine job. 8 hour, a good job would be 8 hour finish. Joe, dinner. Come, we have dinner. Bring along your wife. Oh, so how's your wife? How's your kids? How I know your kids. You got 3 kids. You got your eldest daughter is Spring. You have Joey and you have Asher. Oh, so you are Christian. Oh, so you go to this Every Nation Damansara. Oh, so you are one of the core leader. I know all these things. Or I only know that Joe is from 10x. He's the CEO of 10x. That's all. So who is Joe's wife? I don't know. But if you ask me, I know. Connie. That is the difference. And I know your father as well. 包大鑊. So you see, what I want to say is that how you build relationship, how you build all these things together with your client. If you say that I do whatever, all those 8 hours, yes, you did. That is by default. That is just a routine thing. But I do more than that. But my question is that sometimes when I tell that to some of the coaches, they say, Nick, 1粒鐘咗 8 hours you still go dinner with them. Then I know something is wrong with him or her. 8粒鐘你唔使食啊? You don't need to eat. Then can I choose to eat with my client? Can I choose to eat my client and know about, they are the other half. Their kids, how are they going? That is things that they don't understand. So I think this this, I would say, soft skill. Okay. We have a lot of hard skill. I think 10x hard skill, all these things, yeah, framework, what this and that, marketing plan, BMX, all this, yes. But it's not only that. Okay. It's more than that. I think if we are able to equip ourselves or to improve ourselves on this, we will be a better human being on this earth.
Yeah. Wow. Good. I think what I hear, that's not anxious. They are worried all the tool will finish. But what you say is not just the tool. Of course, there are some tools is anchoring tools, right? Like one page every year. In fact, to me, is what we need to do is do a very good job in the one page, and whole year is just keeping them accountable. All the other tool is that what you need to unstuck. We use that tool to unstuck, but then the PMS, it's just an anchoring tool. They need to keep measuring, right? Whatever they need a clear measurables and all that. So there are multiple tools that is anchoring tools. And I know some corporate will take years to implement that. Yeah, I think good. And I felt also just now I talked about something very powerful is that some of your clients even become a coach. Means that they already know all the tools also. They also in 10x. Why do they still need you, right? And I felt really a lot of people scared. They thought knowing is very important. Yeah, it's yes. But knowing and doing and achieving is a very far distance. That's why in Mandarin I say, 知道跟做到哦，是世界上最遥远的距离。You knowing and doing and achieving is all three is a very far distance to each other.
Yep.
You know doesn't mean you know how you will do, and you do doesn't mean you achieve, right? So we need to coach you to do it, and we also want to keep you accountable that you achieve and continue. No, we'll keep you accountable to do, and we need to coach you to tweak in such a way that you achieve the result that we want. Because ultimately we are not in the, we are not in the business of knowing, right? We are not in the business of information but transformation.
Yeah.
Not in the business of knowing but result, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and some of them I can tell them, hey, you are paying me 60K. I make sure you earn that 60K to come and pay me.
yeah, true.
Correct or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. You are making money and you're paying me and you got free and you are impacting other business life and business at the same time. Wow. This money cannot buy one. Someone want to do pen session, hold your hand, cry some more.
I agree. In fact, sometimes it's just that one insight. No, actually what you say is we cannot measure it by how many hours and how long. I always felt that sometimes in one session, that one insight
Yes.
is worth 10 years of fees.
Yes.
As extreme as that. Even all my clients, 120,000 client, right? I say I can give you a lot of examples. I just give you one example that one of my clients wanting to break through certain distribution channel, and I so happen to able to make one call that he able to go into the channel, and the channel, the revenue he can generate, of course, I always try to crystallize the value, right? I make it as a joke, but of course I mean it. But I just say one time, the seed is planted. I say, wow, this can cover 10 years of my fee.
Wow. Precisely.
1.2 million easily. And they could generate 10s or 20, 30 million.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that at minimum, it can cover 10 years, or even if 120 million, then it's 100 years of my fee. I just say 10 years of my fee. With one session, I can generate 10 years. So after that, the next 10 years, you need to think to justify or know whether then. But there's only one occasion. I have so many occasions that I continue adding value, and every time I will still crystallize for them. I won't keep drilling it. I'm trying to push too hard, but I sure bring it up. I sure verbalize it. I sure crystallize it. So there's one client also same thing. Sometimes it's earn, sometimes it's save. This is earn. I have a client, same thing. He actually go into that one of the country wanting him to go into the investment. He find very hard to say no. But after we analyze, there's not much upside. There's so much down. So many possibilities downside, but their upside is so little. So I say, but how are this country very hard to say no because we are in the other business? Okay. So then I say, you use my name. You just say your consultant first. If needed to use my name, I'd let you use that because but it's also the truth. He put a lot of resources in one project. I say, my consultant advised me not to move the finance because we committed here. I love to, but I really can't move my budget here. So eventually, that was about 1.5 million decision. So he saved 1.5 million. And true enough, the project not doing well after that. So I said, oh, this money you save can pay me 10 years fee already. One session, one information, right? So sometimes it's save, sometimes it's earn. But it's not one incident. So that means all the rest of this coaching, 8 hours, framework, all two is free one. But of course, I still take it very professionally. Not that I don't need to run. I still do it. But I already give the value they want. Recently, Tennis Valley, right? I've this come for assessment. So he have this structure. Straight away, he come for assessment. Me and Jeremy just write a structure, draw a structure for him. That if he don't have that session, 10 years later he'll be crying. He will be crying that he have lost this so much of value. So this usually will charge millions consultation. So like our value is 36,000 a year only ma. I think this one will worth millions already. So basically your value is free for the next 10 years. We already give you the value upfront. This one, now you come in, all these are free already.
Almost 30 years.
So that's why when I say we don't focus so much on really hours, time, you really
Yep.
focus on the quality. What is the one thing that you can help them to make the right decision
Correct.
and then keep them accountable? And one last example, one of my clients who went listed, right? But of course, all this I've been adding value since they start up all the while. When they're not ready, I still adding this. So I say don't underestimate or don't judge them. When they're small, I still add value. I still do BHC. I still add value to them. Then he was just start up and then suddenly grow 10 million, 20 million, 50 million. Then after that, he asked me, hey, because every now and then, half year, 1 year, he will unofficially ask me for advice. So he said, actually, can you give, I don't want to like every 5-6 months meet you once or 1 year, can we have official? I said, yeah, then I said, sure. But I said, at the time, my story is so, I said, never mind. He said, actually, I just need to meet you for maybe 1 month, just meet you for a chat. I don't need to have official coaching session. He just expect a 1 hour session just to give him a different perspective.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Then I say, yeah, but I say I can only have this date and then I need to pay one shot, right? I have to do another. And he just transferred 100,000 already. Then he expect it's just 1 hour, but no, I said, if you engage me formally, I will still go through whatever the 8 hours, all this. But to him, it's all bonus because all I want is that 1 hour of conversation and one insight. Yep, I think go back to that is really sometimes it's that just one insight. Don't need to think too much and helping them to from knowing to doing and achieving. Great. Next question: what kind of transformation usually happen? They are your client who stay long term, right? Why when they're staying so long term, they must have some transformation happen. If to me, it's not even improvement. We are not in the business of improvement. Improvement, they won't engage a coach.
Okay.
They engage you because there is transformation and they continue engaging you because of transformation. Like say, it could be business and life or both. What is that?
It have to be business and life. Okay, I think the biggest transformation usually happen in the business owner first. Okay, because over time, coaching is no longer just about the business, helping them to grow the business. Okay, it start, I would say, touching deeper part of who they are. Okay, in 10X, we always talk about the 3P and not just the profit and loss in business, the passion and love about the brand, but also an individual person, their purpose and life. Okay, and I think that a lot of the real transformation happen here in the business owner itself. Okay, over time, many of my clients, they become more clearer, more strategic, more calm, more confident, and more intentional. Okay, they don't just become better at business, they become stronger in how they think, how they lead, and also how they live. Okay, so yes, the business may grow, but many times I think the deeper transformation is this, that the business owner become a stronger version of who they are, of themselves in business, in purpose, and in life.
Wow, great. I think hearing that means that I think if they just achieve business result,
That is a
that's one of it. Probably may not be so long term.
Yeah.
The long term is really always felt that we have integrated in business and life. Sometimes the value is so big in life, they cannot even measure it with the business, or the business is so big and then it's all the value is multi-layer and multi-fold. So they say end up they don't just become a better business. I think they become a better leader, better husband, better wife, better human being, right? If you ask me, I felt that's my goal as well. I think we are adding value in so many layers that, in fact, business value is one. We're adding value in the life, in relationship, in financial, in spiritual, in time, in mental. There's all this, I think, lead to a better quality of life.
Yeah.
I felt our client eventually who stay on with us for so long and I felt they already make a decision that they want to stay on with us as long as they can get, right? It's forever, right?
Yeah.
So I say, when we see the client or when we engage a client, I think they really make a decision. It is for a lifetime or is it for a season, or is it for a while, or for the rest of their life? I think they already decided. Hey, of course, some first if they have decided just for a while, then for sure it will be a while lah. But of course, some even decide, oh, I want to be long term forever. Eventually, something may happen. They could leave, or we could not want to continue with this, whatever reason. But first and foremost, they already decided. When we also want to make sure that we find a client that want to really engage us for a long time. And for me, I think even it leads to happy, healthy, and more purposeful, right? So they are one. So in the end, they become a happier person. They become a healthier person, right? They become more purposeful and more fulfilling. And that's what money cannot buy, right? So sometimes really literally, like my Dubai client lose 20 kg in 1 year.
Yep.
And a lot of people thought I'm a fitness coach. In fact, I didn't. I just give help. What I say, I help them see that, oh, if I want to go for listing, I need a healthy body. I need more energy. Boom, one insight. He just control. He didn't go extreme also. He just start to eat more healthy and then more intentional. Then when he lost 20 kg and become better energy. And even lead to one of the partner is 10 years elder than him. Suppose he actually want to exit because he felt that maybe I'm too old already, no more energy. Then he also start eat healthy. He also go to gym. He also do exercise. Then after that he become more energy. He say, I don't want to. I want to at least bring to IPO first. Then after IPO, I want to be a 10x coach.
The oldest one.
Yeah, interestingly, because when I first do the audit with him, after the audit, that was the first year. Now we are fourth year already. The first year after audit, I said, okay, I've done my audit. Basically, any question that you want to ask, then he only have one question. How can I be a 10x coach?
Wow.
Wow. I said, the time will come after your IPO, then I will. Because before IPO, during the IPO, they also need to drop the 10x because they need to be focused on one business. But after the listing, I said, yeah, then probably I will, when you go into the board, I will invite you. So, yeah, I think last but not least.
But I think the transformation is not only on client. As a coach also, me myself also transform. Okay, I become a better person, a better human being as well. Because we are being led, also we are doing the same thing is in our systems, it's also a part of our life as well. So it's like all of us are also entrepreneur ma. We will bring the same thing. If it's so good for our client, we will definitely practice it back in our corporate, in our company. So it's a vice versa. It's a mirror, I would say. It's a mirror that whatever we do, in mirror image we do, we need to, hey, how can we ask our client to do, and then we don't practice it. So I think it's so good that I think I need to acknowledge you for creating such a impactful platform.
Yeah, I thank you for that. When you say that, it remind me of this saying. People always ask this question in the classroom of 50 students, who learn the most? Let's say that there's a student from poor, middle class, and rich family. All of them in one class, 50 of them. Who learn the most?
The one that teach.
The teacher, right? And why? Because when you teach, you learn the second time, right? So in any given class, the one who learned the most is the teacher.
Yeah.
So, and actually, it's really a platform. That's why I always encourage the coach, why you are so busy, you still want to join 10X. As an entrepreneur university, you continue to improve. And not only you improve, you teach, you improve 2 times. And as a platform, we continue to have a tribe, multiple tribe to continue research the best thing for you.
Yeah.
And I say, even if you don't join 10X, you also attended courses, you also continue to invest in other areas, your time, your money, right? Then why don't you do it here? And in the same time, you also transform other people's lives and businesses. So thank you for that. Last but not least, the question is, of course, one of the top coaches in 10X, right? In every parameter, right? You definitely a benchmark for many coaches. But if I were to bottle I don't like to use the word success because everyone defines success very differently. If I were to bottle your excellence into 3 principles, or your results and relationship with your client into the 3 principles, what would that be? The DNA of Nick Gu. And
The DNA, I would say 3 things. First is I would say is clarity before strategy. Okay, because if the leader is not clear, even a good strategy won't move well. Okay. Second, I would say is the transformation before transaction. Okay, transformation before transaction. Okay, if you only focus on closing deal, you may get short-term win. Okay, but if you focus on truly helping people transform, You build deeper trust and longer term relationship impact even. Okay. And third, I would say is consistency, build credibility. Okay. Not hype, not noise, but consistency. Because over time, people don't trust what people don't just trust what you say. They trust what you consistently show. And I think these three have really shaped how I coach, how I lead, how I build people as well. Clarity first, clarity before strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. Second is transformation before transaction. Okay, because we don't look for short-term win. Okay, we need to help people transform, build deeper trust and longer term impact. Third is consistency, build credibility.
Yep, great. I think if you ask me, I felt knowing you and hearing today's conversation, I think for sure whatever you said just now is very powerful. But from my perspective, I think you just I won't say juggle. Maybe you just demonstrated the both result and relationship well, right? I think you anchor a lot of relationship, but I think you also anchor a lot of result, right? You always going to ask them, okay, what's the goal you want to achieve? Make it clear, right? You are not just relationship, but you also anchor a lot of result. So what are you wanting to achieve? So I think this is one thing that I see you have mastered these two areas, or I would say juggle. Maybe you just achieve these two pillars was anchored well when you work on the client relationship, right? And of course, I also felt that you have also exemplified the takeoff formula, right? The confident, conviction, commitment. All three, right? You are confident, right? You're confident with the tools and yourself and your experience and the client, and you're so very convicted, right? This works. There's no other way. This is the way,
Yep.
right? So then you're also very committed in the relationship, in the result. That's why you say, okay, after 8 hours, those are commitment, right? After 8 hours, I want to touch your life, add value to you, your wife, your whatever. So I think you also exemplify the takeoff formula very well, right? And also last but not least, your character itself, right? Charismatic, leadership, people like to listen to you. Yep, I think that is definitely a very, very powerful. I finished my question. So much diamond here. Perhaps if I were to have one last bonus question, if a new coach join, our orientation is coming next month. So then the coach, okay, very excited when you join, right? It's an entrepreneur. So you say, hey, what should I focus on in my first few months to I want to be like you. You say, oh, I want to be like you. I want to be like Steve or Paul. I want to see myself out of the 100 over coach. I want to be the top, right? One day. So what should I do? What should I focus? Come and drink with me first.
I think I would tell them don't focus on becoming impressive. Okay, focus on becoming useful. Yeah, I think the first 12 months, I think there are a few things you really need to focus on. First, I think you need to understand business deeply, meaning that, like I always said, no matter what business you're in, you need to understand it will still fall under the fundamental of the 10 pillar in the 10X strategy wheels. You need to understand that. That is the fact. That is the truth. You have to be firm. You have to be conviction that okay, 那个問題 no other. There's this 10 pillar. Or either your leadership and strategy got problem, either your finance and cash flow got problem, either your branding and positioning got problem, if your people and talent got problem, or management and structure got problem. You need to be firm. This is the 10 pillar, no other place. Be you are in manufacturing, you are in F&B, you are in retail service, same. This 10 pillar, firm. That means you will speak with authority. Your problem definitely lies here. That is first thing. Okay, so the business fundamental are usually still the same. So second, you need to master BHC. Okay, because BHC is our most powerful tools, and where trust start and where clarity happen, and a lot of your value is first experience through BHC. Okay, third, you need to learn how to listen and diagnose. Okay, not just hear what people say, but really learn how to uncover what is actually behind the issue. Okay, And lastly, of course, become someone people can trust. Because in coaching, people are not just buying your words, they are buying your maturity, your value, and your stability. So for me, the first 12 months is really about building depth, not trying to look good or not trying to look good too early.
Good. I finished all my question. Great. I think today is a lot of valuable insight from attraction, PhD, and coaching excellence. Great. Thank you so much. Anything you want to add?
At the end of the day, coaching is not about having all the answer. It is about helping people see clearly, make better decision, lead better, and build something that really lasts.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Woo!